Hi again, this is Laura Chappell. And in this video presentation, I'm going to show you how we can do a batch real-time blacklist check using NetScan Tools Pro. But first, I want to take you out to the email that prompted me to go and do a real-time blacklist check. So here's the original email that came in to me. I have an e-card. Somebody cares. Of course, it is marked as spam across the top and it comes from a non-existent email account, but that's all right. Here I'm looking at the link inside of here that goes to softorems.com, and of course by hovering over it I can see that that is actually where it's going to. So that's what prompted me to do a real-time blacklist check on softorems.com. I'm going to use NetScan Tools Pro to do this batch RBL or real-time blacklist check on softorems.com. And I use NetScan Tools Pro a lot when you see me teaching in classes and all, because look at the number of tools that are included with NetScan Tools Pro. In the Tools section, I've selected the real-time blacklist check. And if I want to at this point, I could edit the servers that I'm going to check against. So if one of the servers isn't answering back here from this list, I can discard it from the list. That would speed up my RBL check significantly. Up in the area up on top, it says enter the IP address preferred or the host name, and I'm going to put in the host name. So it's softorems.com. And then I'm just going to click on Do Check. But this is what I want to do, and I recommend that you do this as well. Whenever you're doing any sort of operations like this, I would want to run Wireshark in the background so that I can catch the traffic and see how it's doing its RBL check. And this is really interesting to see how it does what it does. So I'm going to go over to Wireshark and start a capture. Now I'm using Wireshark version 1.2.1, and here's the main start window. And on here I can see that I have an NVIDIA adapter, and I know that that is the one that's connected to the wired network. So I'm going to select that adapter and begin capturing, and then I'm going to go back over to NetScan Tools. I'll select Do Check, and we can see that NetScan Tools is going through and getting the IP address, resolving that, and it begins the process of contacting the real-time blacklist servers. Now, if you want to speed up this process, watch for any of the servers that don't answer back or give you errors and remove them off of that list. Here we can see the results of the real-time blacklist check, and we can see that softorems.com does get a hit at spamhaus.org. So we can see that the link is listed on the right-hand side, and I can click on that, bring that up, and we'll see what spamhaus.org says about this particular entity. We can see that it's listed on the Spamhaus block list. And this is why. It's a spamvertised casino site. And it gives me all of this information, including what the typical taglines are. So there you go. Welcome to the Vegas Casino Club. Woohoo, free gambling. All right, so we can get a lot of information. But now let's go over to Wireshark and see how NetScan Tools did that RBL check. We can see in the trace file, I've got some background traffic here. It looks like somebody is looking for an IP address. This is actually one of our old printer addresses, and the printer's moved, and that host has not been reconfigured. So we've got a lot of crazy stuff in our lab here, but we can see there's the DNS query for softorems.com, and here's the response that comes back. Now, in the response that came back, I'm going to look inside of this response. Look at all the different IP addresses associated with softorems.com. Now, if you scroll through the trace file, you would see here we've got a number of DNS queries in here, and this is how NetScan Tools does its RBL check. It actually sends a DNS query with the IP address inversed to the actual RBL server. And it listens for what the server responds. In this case, we have a server failure, so that would not be something we would want to have responding. Here we can see the ones that come back with no such names. I'm going to put in a filter just looking for DNS traffic, and I'll apply that. So now I can look through exactly how NetScan Tools got its information. There's Spamhaus. There's Spamhaus responding with text. And if we go down here, we'll be able to see there's the link that Spamhaus gave us for this entity. So now you know not only how to do a batch blacklist, a real-time blacklist server check, but you also know what it looks like when someone's running an operation like this on your network. They're going to be hitting your DNS server. And if you're keeping track of your DNS logs, you would be able to see how many times RBL checks are done inside of your corporation. I hope you'll join us for one of the free Jumpstart online classes over at chapelseminars.com. And if you become a member of the newsletter over there, you'll get links to a number of the trace files that I use in these training sessions. So go sign up today.